Hello, Fredlings! I am Claude from Chicago. We are here for real people with real creativity in real time. Fredlings never give up, and I won't on you. And today we are back in our budget theme park, Lucky Lakes, and this park has finally got a budget in the 60s to the 80s section where we are building in a drive-in movie theater for our wonderful guests. So you did not see here on the beginning, but there is some black panels, white fences, and a movie screen so that guests can come on in here and have a little bit of an immersive experience watching some films that are maybe made inside of the park or some classic films that are rented out, because it's obviously a budget park, so we don't have our own movie studio, so we would have to rent out movies from a variety of different companies from outside. So anything that you could think of that you would see in here, except for Disney films, would be probably shown on this projector screen here. And then on the outside, we add some more panels, and we add these chocolate cookies here, or white vanilla cookies here, to give us a little outline on the screen, which makes it sort of pop on out, which is something that we always like to do here in the park, is make some creative things, give it some depth, because if you keep it all the same size and don't add the little details really matter. The little things matter in all situations of life. So adding those little details into the park makes it look really awesome. So in the back over here, we have some general seating. These would be seatings maybe free to everyone, or maybe, $1 or $2, nothing crazy. And then the car seats over there would be used for fast passes, or in some cases they could pay for them. So they have a variety of choices for people to sit in. So obviously if it rains on the outside, they should be fine. If it rains, they should be fine if they have a roof on their car. If not, there's going to be some issues. And I do want to come on back and add some, some roof coverings on the top of the general seating, so that if there is something like that, or it's during the day, would it be too hot? I'm not sure if we have that sort of budget here. And then in the back, we use the World Showcase pieces, which are super exciting, because we use the diner piece, which we use the diner piece at the beginning of the park, and we usually don't have a variety of different times to use that. So just being able to put it in here just real quickly makes the experience more immersive. For people that are curious, this is the 60s to late 80s section, and we work on a little bit of a go-kart here, but our main goal for this episode is the movie theater itself. So Disney One TV suggested and sent a few images on Discord, which is linked in the description down below, of some budget theme park movie areas or Hollywood areas. And I found one that he sent, which was very beautiful, and I tried to recreate this here. It's super simple. It's just going to be a tunnel, and it's going to have sort of this forced perspective of this thing looking very tall, even though it's not really tall. It's the same size as the movie theater itself. We do a little quick terrain work here to try to cover up some of the movie theater if we can. It's not going to be completely gone. That's just a budget theme park, so keeping it open so people can see is something very exciting, and I just always wanted to do that. And there's some holes in the back of this too, which would probably be a staff room in the future, or an external staff room, so staff can get away from the go-karts and from this, so that they can hide away from the guests. But this is something that I did actually take some inspiration from, which was the Great Movie Ride in Disney World, one of my favorite rides, which no longer exists, because I think it's now Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, if I am correct. But we decided to go with some lights, which you'll see a little bit later on down the tunnel, but there's some bulbs in the beginning of that ride, or was in the beginning of that ride, which flashed continuously. I always thought that was admiring as a child, and seeing it as an adult through video is super exciting. And then over here we're going with a nice yellow color, sort of giving some life to this movie theater, making it pop, and plus it makes these colors pop a little bit more with the lights on it as well. And then we go with the classic ride, like I was just saying. We're going to call this The Great Movie. Obviously switching out with different films throughout the budget. And then we're going in with some of these fairy tale lights here, the holiday lights, to give us that vibe, which I thought had a specific pattern that they do. It's just a little bit weird on how it works. And then we've used some of these train lights here to give us that effect of these flashing, which you'll see a little bit better in the live section. At the end of this time lapse here, we are going to be coming on in and putting up some movie posters that are around the park that are just pre-built into the game. and actually utilizing the fencing that stops guests from walking out as a legit source of fencing. Then we do a little bit of quick terrain work, which will all probably get deleted in the next time lapse. As you see the go-kart track over there, that'll be the next one coming out. So make sure you stick around later to see that video come on out. Or you can come out to all of our live streams at Claude from Chicago on Twitch and see all the live streams live. And you have 2 weeks after it was streamed to watch them back unedited. So we're just going to leave the music play you out. We're going to see you in the live section for some close-ups, glamour shots, and a special thank you to our subscribers, tip donators, bit donators, and everyone else. Fredlings, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse, and here in Lucky Lakes we have the great movie ride. You do actually see some of the terrain work which will be done in the next video in this video, but this is the great movie ride. It is finally complete. There's also some details I have to come on back and fix up here because it's a little slanted, but it's a budget theme park, so maybe we'll leave it. With the great movie ride, or the great movie, I'm sorry, the great movie. I keep thinking of the Disney one. It is complete here with the forced perspective, and it looks just like a movie theater. Inside here is the lighting that I was talking about, just like the great movie ride, where it kind of flashes up and down. These are supposed to flash, but some of them are not flashing. Oh, it didn't do that. Budget theme parks, maybe the bulbs burned out or something like that, so they kept it pretty simple. But when you come on inside, you can come over here and get some tickets, and you can see the wonderful styles over here where people can take pictures in front of the cars, so they're not able to purchase any of the premium cars over there. In here, we have ourselves some Cosmic Cow ice cream, some Pip Shot water because the park is sponsored by them, an ATM, some fantastic hats, a staff room, and a bathroom. So that guests stop complaining about there's no bathrooms in the park. There's bathrooms everywhere now. When you come on the back, you see the general seating with the great light here, which is our projector screen, so projecting on the screen. And then over here is the movie that is being shown, which is something that is just inside of the base game of Planet Coaster. Over here, we have two little things. We have an entertainment point, so guests can see the characters in action from the film. And then over here, we do have an entertainment point, so guests will actually come down here and take a look at this thing. I just want to make sure that this is installed correctly. It is, so if guests do come down here, they will look at the projector screen. And then on the back side over here, we have a nice little safety railing going up to the top if there ever needed to be maintenance. You see some guests there walking up. And then at the top over here, we have some security lights so that any upgrades or anything that needs to be done can be done by a staff member to keep this screen going perfectly fine. So we're going to throw this into some glamour shots, but before we do that, I want to give a massive shout out to our Twitch subscribers, tip donators, bit donators, and our future merchandise holders. And let's go into some beautiful glamour shots of the great movie.